Hi, my name is John Lowe. I am the Dean of Communication Arts at the Savannah College of Art and Design, and you're listening to Sci-Fi Talk.
It's nice to chat once again with Randall Kim, who we recently saw in Dragonball Evolution, and is known for playing the Keymaker in Matrix Reloaded. Let's join the conversation.
I wanted to catch up. I don't know if you remember, we spoke a few years ago when the Matrix.
Yes, I do remember.
As always, you've been very busy.
Yeah, not bad for an old guy.
You do fine. You do very well. It's so funny. You do the wire work for the Matrix, and then you do Dragon Ball. You have a scene where there's wire work and stuff.
It was so much fun. Whenever I do that, I feel like a little kid. But I think the Dragon Ball is probably going to be the last time I do that.
Yeah.
That was pretty strenuous stuff. But it was great working with they were guys from the Matrix team.
Yeah.
And they are just they're brilliant.
Yeah.
These guys are brilliant. They throw everything into it, and they're so creative. When I saw the mock-up that they did for the that wire scene, that laundry wire scene,
yeah,
it blew me away. And I tried to imitate that as well as I could.
Sure.
But it was a brilliant piece of choreography. I loved it.
Yeah. It's funny, but the movie.
No, came and went. In fact, I haven't even seen it yet.
Well, the funny thing is, it didn't do well in America, but worldwide, the movie made a profit.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, because of the manga influence. That's what it is. Yeah, it's not. It's Dragon Ball was a stretch here in the U.S., but I knew worldwide it would do well because of the following it has as a manga. So,
well, to be truthful, I had some reservations because when I auditioned for it, I apologized to the casting director that I hadn't seen the manga version, and I knew nothing about it. And he said, "Oh, well, that's good because we're updating it or something. We're changing it." And I thought to myself, well, if it has such a huge fan base, won't it offend that fan base if you begin making changes, visual changes to it?
Yeah, exactly.
So I was really concerned about that.
But the movie made a profit, which a lot of movies can't say these days. So
I'm stunned. I'm stunned. Well, I have an order in for a copy of the movie, so
there you go.
I'll take a look at it.
From what I saw, I enjoyed it. It was very interesting, and I did like the casting. I think they did a fine job with the cast.
Oh, that's good. I had a chance to go to Mexico to work on that, and I'd never been to Mexico, so that was a real treat.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Supposedly, I understand that you have, and the funny thing about this project is it was written by Joe Michael Straczynski, Ninja Assassin.
Ah, really?
Yeah, he wrote it. Yeah.
My God, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Didn't make the link. Well, that was another fantastic experience, getting together with the Matrix team and the Wachowski brothers. Got to see them again. James McTeague, who directed Ninja, and I don't know. It felt like a homecoming or something.
Yeah.
It was wonderful. And also, how I function in the film. I think I'm in the prologue scene.
Oh, nice.
And just kind of set it up. But what I've seen on YouTube of the rehearsals for the fight scenes, it looks fantastic.
Yeah.
I have a friend who studies kendo, and he and his teacher said a lot of those moves are right out of ninja technique.
Wow.
And it's going to be truly, truly exciting. It kind of reminded me of very old samurai movies and Chinese movies.
That should be fun then. I'm looking forward to that.
Super exciting.
How did you find the Wachowski brothers? Seeing them again, have they changed a little, since the past experience, or what are they like these days?
I don't think they've changed. I think they're as creative as ever. Now, when I was shooting Ninja, they were kind of on a downer because of Speed Racer.
Right.
That was not, and they were kind of talking about leaving for a while, leaving the business for a while. I said, don't, please don't. You're storytellers. Keep on going. I really, because I think they're wonderful storytellers.
Well, I agree. I mean, the Matrix movies I come back to every once in a while. I mean, they're pretty cool. I mean, it's really an amazing series of stories.
Yeah, I think so too.
And Speed Racer, they took a big chance. They really did, and it is like no other film I've ever seen, frankly.
Yeah.
There's some things about it that worked for me. Having literally grown up with the original animated series when I was a kid, and then seeing this, it was just like, I mean, the casting was like dead on. Yeah, it was, there were some things I liked about it. If there was a criticism, it's just the car chases. It didn't look like anything, it didn't scare me enough, like something bad was going to happen. And I think that was really the downfall of the movie, but nothing to do with the cast or anything like that.
Right. Well, they were a little depressed when I saw them last,
Yeah.
but I know they're resilient guys.
Oh yeah.
And they'll get right back on the horse and give us more stories. But it was great working with the stuntmen again.
Yeah.
Chad Stahelski and his crew. They're just terrific. I have such admiration for the stunt people in Hollywood.
Oh yeah.
Whether it was the fight stunt guys or the stunt drivers in the Matrix, they're all highly skilled and fabulous people.
And one of the things that you've done recently too is you learned, and it's got to be fun to do animation where you're not actually there. Kung Fu Panda, I'm talking about.
It was a hoot. I mean, I had never done anything like that, but it was so much fun. And I don't know. All of us were taped individually, so I never got to work with the other actors.
Yeah.
Isn't that strange?
That's got to be a challenge as an actor, though.
I know, but it was so much fun to work with the directors, and to give them as many options as I could possibly give them, take their direction and however they wanted it, so that they would have multiple options when it came time to put it together. But when I saw the resulting work, those animators did incredible.
Yeah.
That escape scene.
Yeah.
Oh,
it was a lot of fun.
So exciting.
Yeah, it's really amazing what they can do digitally. I mean, since you did the Matrix, look how far technology has come.
Amazing.
It's incredible.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's also scary too a little bit.
I know, and it's going to keep on going.
Oh yeah.
It to take us to other worlds. I don't know, show us things we've never seen before, but only imagined.
Yeah.
No, it's truly amazing.
I'll have more with Randall in just a moment. Getting reliable, secure web hosting without the long-term contract, that's the ticket. GoDaddy's hosting plans are bigger and better than ever with the 99% uptime, free 24/7 support, and no annual commitment. Best of all, the plans start at $3.99 a month, plus the all-new Metropolis hosting community. Enter code POD123, that's POD123 when you check out, and save an additional 10% on your web hosting order. Get your piece of the internet at GoDaddy.com. Some restrictions apply. See the site for details. We'll get back to Randall Duck Kim momentarily. The Sci-Fi Talk app features a dynamic multimedia experience. You can listen to a different podcast 5 days a week. There's also special video content from Sci-Fi Talk TV and especially produced for the app. And to add even more value, there's access to my Twitter feed and a voicemail line to call in and give comments and questions, all toll-free. You can listen to my regular Sci-Fi Talk podcast, and there's also the Best of Sci-Fi Talk and Sci-Fi Talk's Trek Voices, all in the same feed. Hear interviews with best-selling authors, your favorite TV stars, and up-and-coming filmmakers. All this combined with videos on movies and television with trailers, premieres, and behind-the-scenes features. That's all in one SF app, Sci-Fi Talk, the first sci-fi podcast app available for the iPhone and iPod Touch. It's only $1.99 at the Apple Store at iTunes. Get yours now. It makes a great gift for SF fans.
Anthony Rotolo for RocketRideBooks.com, publishers of Who Goes There, the story that formed the basis of the Thing movies. And you're listening to Sci-Fi Talk.
My conversation with Randall Kim will continue in just a moment. But waiting is so time-consuming and expensive. And now there's a way to solve PC and Mac issues faster. Introducing the new GoToAssist Express, brought to you by Citrix. You can get immediate support by easily viewing and controlling your computer online. Try GoToAssist Express free for 30 days. For the special offer, visit gotoassist.com/techpodcast. That's gotoassist.com/techpodcast for a free trial. Let's get back now to Randall Kim.
Well, Avatar is coming up, and that's supposed to be like another groundbreaking film. So we'll see.
I was delighted to meet Shyamalan.
Oh, nice. Yes, M. Night Shyamalan.
And it's so carefully and beautifully designed, the entire thing.
Yeah.
I saw some of the artwork for it, and costumes, sets. I mean, they've really taken pains to make this one something really, really special.
Yeah, I'm actually running the teaser trailer of The Last Airbender on my website. So
Noah Ringer is that young boy's name.
Oh, okay.
And he's an actual martial artist. He's
wow.
A black belt. Wow. And he is super little kid.
So, I mean, from what I heard, you were rumored to be in the movie, but is that something you're going to do, you think?
I did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I did the scene. It's just a little one shot scene, but I function as a Judas.
Oh, okay.
I betrayed a little kid to his enemy.
I heard that Knight, when he shoots, he does a lot of takes, a la Stanley Kubrick too. A lot of long takes. Is that true?
Yes. Well, not in our case, because I think they were under time to just finish it.
Yeah.
Everybody was anxious to go back home. They had been working on it for months and months.
Yeah.
And I think I thought it was very efficient. How the shots and the number of takes. I think little Noah didn't want it to end.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was his first movie. And everybody loved him, and he was taken care of. It was a delight, and I hope the rest of the trilogy goes well.
Yeah, I mean, Knight has been emphatic about doing this as a live-action film. He's actually, I think, been on the DVD commentary of the animated series. So he's really into it, and he really wanted to do it.
Well, it's a multiracial cast, and it's a delight with no big stars, I don't think, in it.
Yeah.
So it should work really well.
I think that's probably what's going to make it work. The fact that there are, no big stars, so this way you don't, it kind of gets in the way sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, all you see are the stars, and you can't really get into the story or the character.
Yeah.
You can't forget the celebrity. That's why I'm concerned about. Have you seen a movie called Tell No One, a French movie?
No, I haven't seen that.
Oh, do.
Okay.
It's a wonderful piece of work. Complex murder story.
Nice.
But I've heard that Hollywood is going to be doing a version of it because the original novel takes place in New Jersey.
Of all things.
I think if they hire stars for it, you won't have the same kind of effect as watching these, unfamiliar French actors.
Yeah. I'm not totally fond when they Americanize a film, quote unquote. I think some things are better left the way they are, and just not try to do it. But that's going to happen. There's no way to stop that from happening again, unfortunately.
I think that's one of the great sadnesses about our business, that money has become such an object of concern. That artistry and imagination and creativity kind of go out the window.
Yeah. Sometimes it does take a back seat.
Oh, it's sad when it comes to storytelling.
Yeah.
But for the love of storytelling.
Well, speaking of storytelling, you were on probably one of the most interesting series of the season last year in Fringe.
Oh, you thought so?
Oh, that's a great series.
Well, I heard that it's been picked up again, but I'm
it
not
sure
sure.
has.
I think it's an interesting series.
Oh,
yeah, definitely. And I've never played a kind of insane person before.
Well, that runs a lot on that show.
But it was fun. It was fun. It was great to work with them too.
Yeah, what's the cast like? I guess they're all pretty much into their own. They all know each other well at this point.
Yeah. And I was just delighted to be let in just for that one moment. Yeah. I was hoping that they'd bring this crazy character back again.
Hey, there is season 2. You never know.
And have him do something else. Maybe he straightens up a little bit.
Well, that's going to be on. That's coming out on DVD now. So.
Oh, is it? Oh, God.
And actually, I've been running full episodes of the. You can embed them on your website, and I've been doing that for the Fringe. So I'm going to look for that one, and I'll put it on there too.
Okay.
Yeah. Speaking of watching television, I don't know. It's funny how it turns out. When I knew we were going to talk, I'm just flipping channels, and Lost Empire comes on.
Oh.
And there you are, what they call chewing the scenery.
I had to. I had to just do that with that character.
Yeah.
Make him outrageously silly.
Oh yeah, he was great. It was a great fun.
Yeah. And I love doing stuff when the makeup.
Yeah.
When there's makeup involved. I love makeup.
Yeah, you had the hair and everything. They really did it up on you there.
Make me look different. Give me 3 eyes and I'm happy, or 1 eye, or a nose, or hair pieces, or whatever.
Absolutely.
I'm really happy.
Since we talked, you were in a movie that really was one of the most memorable movies probably of the decade, Memories of a Geisha. Tell us about, your experiences working on that film, which is in some ways considered a modern classic.
I thought that kind of came and went.
Did it? Well, I thought critically it got a lot of attention.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
I know in China they were a little upset that all the
right.
actresses were Chinese playing, prostitutes. And so I think they were a bit upset. I had a great time working on it, but I know when the project first was approached and Steven Spielberg was the director.
Right.
He had me in mind for Nobu.
Okay.
The disfigured one, which I would have loved to have tried to do. I wish his look was a little more extreme.
Yeah.
Because I know in the book the geishas make fun of him and call him a lizard.
Yeah.
So if part of his hair was gone, bad scarring on half of his face, I think it would have been much more striking. But they moderated that. And he also had one arm amputated in the novel.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Which makes it a little more interesting.
Yeah, definitely. Well, yeah, it was a memorable film. Actually, early in your career, you had been on Hawaii. Very early on, you had been on Hawaii 5-0, and actually, a lot of people are rediscovering it on DVD because they've re-released the show on DVD, and I think it's on TV.
Skeletons in the closet. Come back to haunt one.
What were your memories of working on that show?
It was fun, but I was just such a I consider myself a stage actor.
Sure.
So I felt very snobby about having to give myself over to a medium that I really didn't want to be a part of at the time.
Sure.
So I think my work probably just shouldn't even should be thrown away on those things.
Well, DVD makes everything forever.
Comes back to haunt one.
Yeah, everybody has to start somewhere. That's the way it goes.
Well, I look at my entry into film now as a kind of a new stage.
Yeah, that's right.
Because I've come at it so late, and I find it all very intriguing.
You've had some very interesting and diverse parts, that's for sure.
Yeah. I like it that way. If the audience doesn't recognize me or, recognize my look or anything like that, I'm very pleased.
Sci-Fi Talk's conversation with Randall Duck Kim continues in a moment.
This is who you are. You're on Farscape, and you're listening to Sci-Fi Talk. This is Ben Browder from Farscape. You're listening to Sci-Fi Talk.
Speaking of recognition, do people still recognize you for the Keymaker in the Matrix?
No.
Really?
I think I walk down the street and, I'm like any other little Asian guy.
That's
so
funny.
Mention the Keymaker, or sometimes somebody, like one grocery store clerk, looked at me and said, "Were you in the Matrix?" And that happens sometimes. But most of the time, no. I just go about my business in an anonymous sort of way, and it's the way I like it.
What's ahead? I know that you do a lot of stage work, and is there anything in stage that's coming up or films?
Well, the stage at my age has become so too taxing. So I depend on, working on a film every so often if it's an interesting thing to do. But stage is probably out for now. I mean, I think one of the things I do miss is doing Shakespearean work.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd love to do King Lear one last time, but I know it's just the amount of energy you have to put out is enormous.
Yeah.
And I know after a performance, my body just hurts. My rib cage from pumping out the air and just reaching the last row of the house. Tough 8 times a week.
But the thing I've always heard is, and the people that do, especially the kind of movies that I cover that are out, kind of out there at times, that Shakespeare actually helps because of the language and the discipline of it. It's like if you do that, you can pretty much do anything.
Yep, except now there's a current thing that's happening in Hollywood where young actors are told not to do stage work. Concentrate solely on film and television and not to do stage work. And of course, Shakespeare has to be done on stage. It was written for the stage.
Oh, yeah.
That's why movies hardly work, when they do movies of his plays, I think. It has to be seen and done live. But besides the discipline, I think what Shakespeare and other classical writers, the Greeks included, is breadth of vision. That's what's intriguing. Besides the discipline of language and delivering poetry and sustaining long thoughts on a single breath,
Yeah.
it's the vision of how they saw human life. That's enriching. That can enrich you emotionally and provide you with some sense of what being a human being is all about.
There you hit it right on it. It's like it's a way of capturing the human condition that we haven't done in film and television yet.
You're right. I don't know. The Greeks had an unflinching view of what human life is about.
Yeah.
They didn't mince around, nor did they sugarcoat it.
No.
They saw right through the anguish of being a human being.
Yeah.
And Shakespeare carries that tradition through too.
Oh, he certainly did.
Has great stories and great characters.
Yeah.
Characters, from the silliest to the saddest. I mean, it's an amazing range of characters and stories.
Yeah, I mean, God, you mentioned Lear, and also Richard III is also one of my favorites.
Oh, and I've had a chance to do that in my career at least 3 times.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Oh, what a role that is, huh?
Oh, he's fantastic. Fantastic.
Oh, yeah, that is that's a kind of character. That is a very rare character.
You bet.
He just does not come along often.
A villainous hunchback, please.
Yeah, oh, man. Yeah, absolutely. And even Romeo and Juliet, it's, that love story, it's a timeless love story. It just never goes away. We all have seen a version of it in our lifetime. It's amazing. It's incredible. The language, and I was lucky enough, years ago I went to his birthplace.
Oh.
And I actually saw where he's buried, so.
Oh.
That was great. It was really very special to me. I actually went to Anne Hathaway's house.
Oh. Yeah.
And I had trouble. I'm a tall guy, so I had to crouch a little bit. But yeah, I was in London, and I said, I got to get out. I had nothing to do. I said, I got to get out to Stratford and just see where it all started. And it was fantastic. And at the time, the BBC had just done all the plays.
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
So at the train station or at the City Hall in Stratford, they had all the costumes. It was amazing. It was incredible. It really was. It was really incredible. It's a fantastic thing, and that's actually sad to hear that they're discouraging that, because that's a...
Well, no British actor would say that.
No, definitely not.
The British think that the stage is pretty much your mother. That's where you go to refurbish yourself and to refine your technique. Not in America. And it's sad because we have a tradition. Edwin Booth was our great Hamlet.
That's right.
An American actor.
Yeah.
So it's not like we're not part of that tradition, but to continue to despise it and to disrespect it is not good, and which makes for bad stage acting now.
Yeah.
I go to the theater in New York and it's, don't give me phony stuff. Don't perform at me. Tell me the truth about things and do it. Don't condescend to me as you're playing, as a mob or one of the herd. Talk to me like a fellow human being on the stage.
There's a couple of actors that have come from the stage that are, that sort of like, I just saw him in a movie called Moon, Sam Rockwell.
Yes, he's super actor.
And he's brilliant. And it's stage, that's where he started.
Yeah.
And that's where he learned his craft, and I certainly see that in your performances. I just think it resonates in everything you do. You make these characters believable, especially when everything around us that we're watching is really not believable. But you have to hook into somebody to kind of take you along the way. I mean, if you look at the Keymaker and all the things he had to do, and like literally go into one room and then he's gone, and if you didn't convey the right feelings or emotions in the way you delivered the lines, then we wouldn't connect with him in some way.
Well, I tell you, one of my mentors was an actor named Morris Karnofsky, who was blacklisted during the McCarthy era.
Oh, wow.
He and his wife were named before the committee. And I don't know. He may have been a communist, may not, but he was an idealist. And the reason probably that he found communism, the idea of communism appealing, was justice, social justice, which was always a concern of his. But I saw him when I was 18 years old do Shylock in San Diego at the Old Globe Theater.
Yeah.
And it blew me away. I said to myself, because he was different from the other actors. I wasn't watching an actor play act. I was watching a character live out his destiny in that moment. And I said to myself at the time that if I become an actor, that's the kind of actor I want to be. But Morris was brilliant on stage. In fact, John Houseman invited him to the American Shakespeare Festival in Connecticut. And this was right after the blacklisting. And Morris accepted the job and they played there many seasons, doing Shylock, doing Claudius in Hamlet, Prospero in The Tempest, and King Lear. He was notable in the 60s for his King Lear. So later in life, we invited him to our theater to direct, and he directed me in Lear.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so I've had a chance to play Lear once. And when you're out with those roles the first time, it's always broad strokes.
Sure.
You're too ignorant to give it nuance. So that's why I'd like to try it one more time at least.
Yeah, that would be a good role. I think at this stage for you to tackle.
Yeah.
Now you bring a lot more experience and stuff to it.
Yeah.
And that's not a dirty word, experience. It's a good thing.
there's some things you see as a young man that's different from what you see as an older man.
That's for sure. Well, I really want to thank you again, Randall, for talking.
Tony, this has been lovely.
Always a pleasure. I definitely want to stay in touch. And
Absolutely.
Always enjoy the work you do. You're in some of the most imaginative movies I've seen lately. So, and it's fun. And then The Fringe, that's great too. So that's awesome.
Well, thank you for having me on the show.
Very special thanks to Randall and also Charles Bright. Look for Dragonball Evolution coming out on DVD. Join our community at sci-fi-talk.com. You can mix with pros and other fans, all for free. Just visit sci-fi-talk.com and join in. Thanks for listening. I'm Tony Tolato.